today I am going to be doing a 50 facts about me video, which is super exciting. If you've been subscribed to this channel for a long time, you would know that me and Michelle already did a 25 facts about us video, but that video is now in private because, well, it was awful. So we decided that we were going to make two separate 50 facts about me videos just so you as our audience could get to know us a little better. So let's get started. My name is Aline Williams. I was born October 22nd, 1997, which makes me 16 years old. I was born in Chile, South America, which is where I lived until I was 10 years old. That is when we moved to the United States, which is where I currently live. I hate adult cartoons, and when I say I hate adult cartoons, I mean shows like The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, Archer. I usually find them quite offensive, and they're just not my cup of tea. If I watch them like for a long enough period of time, I start getting a headache, and so yeah. Definitely don't like those. Definitely not a fan. I love food so much, but when you look underneath the surface of my food love, I think you end up finding that most of the foods that I really like either involve chocolate or cheese. Everything is better with cheese. And then you've got chocolate in the dessert category, and chocolate is just perfection. So yeah, I love chocolate and I love cheese. I love cats. You have no idea. I am like the biggest cat fan ever since my childhood. I just really love cats. Love cats so much. We can't express how much I love cats. She loves me too. Something you should probably know about me is that I go through a series of hardcore obsessions. I don't know how else to put it. I become obsessed with things. I can't just really like something. I have to be obsessed with it. I have to be constantly looking through like different tags of it on Tumblr. I need to be reblogging all the things that revolve around it, and I just think about it all the time. 2 of my teeth are fake, which sounds a little weird. It sounds a little bit like I'm an 80-year-old woman, but the truth is I just was born without them. So last summer I got these put in after having braces for 3 years and a retainer for another year after that. So yeah, 2 of my teeth are fake. The more you know. When I was little, I wasn't old enough to hang out with the girls and be cool. I'm 5 years younger than my cousin, and I'm 3 years younger than Michelle. So as a kid, I always felt out of place with the girls in our family, so I just tend to hang out with the boys, which resulted in me being a very mannish kid. I was obsessed with being a tomboy. I would ask people to call me Tony, and I would only wear boys' clothes and sweatpants, and I loved climbing trees, and I wore my hat backwards, and I thought I was really cool. Also, when I was little, I had this weird alter ego that sometimes I pretended to be called Shay Washishan, and in my head she was this Asian girl who could, you know, do kung fu, because that's what I thought all Asian people did. I did take Taekwondo as a child, but I was not very good at it. I mostly like to play with like the plastic balls that they had there available and make fun of this one kid's shoes. So that's just something fun about my childhood. I liked food as a kid a lot. You already learned that I like food now, but the thing is that I had much less self-control as a child. I was also addicted to computer games and video games. I just liked to sit down and play, and then I would just order people to bring me food. My favorites were bread and butter. That was my favorite. I liked pure avocado, squirted it into my mouth. And once, I vividly remember going into the kitchen, climbing up on the counter, and eating the sugar out of the sugar pourer for tea and coffee. I was just like, which led to me being very pudgy and larger than the other children. So there you go. This might not be something you guys know. Me and Michelle have actually been making videos our entire lives. I know that I have had 2 other channels before this one. One in which we made just random videos and we thought we were really clever, and I danced to chipmunk music.
Hi, I wanna be your friend.
The other is where I made fan videos, and if you don't know what fan videos are, they're weird. And made a fan video like last month. Me and Michelle have actually been making videos all our lives, and yeah, it's been a big part of my life for a long time. Videos like this.
Howdy, I'm Harry Potter. I'm not an old boy. I'm a wizard.
And videos like this.
Here we go.
Another fact about me is that I am a huge procrastinator, And you usually wouldn't think that by just looking at me because, you know, I seem like I've got everything figured out. But no, I am the biggest procrastinator. It also goes hand in hand with the fact that I'm super, super lazy. And so I don't like to do anything, really. I like almost every type of music. One of my least favorite things is when people judge you based on your different preference of music. Personally, I like everything. I like the indie music and I like alternative music, but at the same time, I still jam to the top 40 and Taylor Swift is my girl. I am also a really, really bad swimmer. This is kind of sad, but the only technique of swimming that I have down to a T is the doggy paddle, and I still get tired after like 15 minutes. Every year in my cross-country team, we have this big camp out and there's a lake, and every time I go on the lake, everyone's like, oh, swim to the lily pads, swim to the lily pads. And I cannot get to the lily pads. I just sit by the dock and I'm like, oh, I'm good here. My nose is my biggest insecurity. I think it's kind of big. And sometimes when I'm looking at it from different angles, I think it looks a little bit like Snoopy from the Charlie Brown comic thingy. But I'm much more secure with it now than I used to be. Before I used to hate my nose, and now I think I do a good job of rocking my nose. So, you know, that's good. Growth is good. Confidence is good. Confidence is sexy. Oh my god. I love animated children's movies. Now when I say that, I mean I love animated children's movies. Like, you don't even know. Shrek is probably my favorite thing in the world. I think about Shrek so much, all the time. I think about Shrek once a day, at least, because it is so good. Have you ever thought about the plot of Shrek and how good it is? Have you ever thought about Donkey and think, oh my gosh, that's such a clever character? And you ever think about all the fairy tales combined and you get so excited? And you ever think about how they burst into song and you're just like, I don't give a damn about my reputation, hit with the chair! Other animated movies that I enjoy are Tangled, Rise of the Guardians. I really like, I love all the Disney classics like Mulan and Robin Hood and Peter Pan and all the princess ones. I like princesses. Another fun fact about me is that I used to be quite the bully growing up. I had a bunch of insecurities as a child, and so because I didn't want anyone to pick on me, I said, hey, I'm just gonna pick on all of you. Another fact about me is that I have this stuffed animal Tigger from since I was 3, and I went on my first and last trip to Disney World. And yeah, I got him at the gift shop because I was obsessed with Winnie the Pooh. Again, back to the obsession thing. I was obsessed with Winnie the Pooh, and so I got this. He's been stitched up quite a few times, and his neck doesn't stand up straight anymore because I used to hug him like this a lot. And so yeah, I still take him to sleepovers, and I still get very anxious if he's not around. He's kind of like a safety object. Another fact about me is that I run cross country, and a lot of you probably don't know this, but yeah, I run on my high school's cross country team, and I'm not very fast, but it's still something I really enjoy and I look forward to it every year. Another fact about me is that I'm super duper clumsy, and I think we mentioned this in the Most Likely To challenge that we did a couple weeks ago. But yes, I am super duper clumsy. I can't go a day without dropping something or making a really stupid comment or being very embarrassed in public. Usually around customer service, I am just super awkward, and I never know how to talk to people who are trying to help me. I just don't do well with that type of situation. For those of you who haven't put 2 and 2 together, I do speak Spanish quite fluently because I used to live in Chile, so yes. When I was 5, I had this obsession with The Nightmare Before Christmas, and every day at 6 o'clock I would wake up, and I wouldn't even wake my parents. I would just go downstairs, I would pop in the VCR, and I would just watch it. I don't know, it's a scary movie. I watched it a couple years ago, and I was quite creeped out, and so I don't understand why I was totally enthralled by this movie and not the least bit creeped out. I mean, I also really like to sing. Yeah, it's something I enjoy. Another thing that I love to do is bake. I love to make all sorts of different creations, from cake to cupcakes to cookies to bread. I love them all. Follow me on Instagram and you probably will see some of the things that I make. So yeah. This kind of relates to baking, but when I was little, I wanted to be a witch so bad because I was obsessed with Hayao Miyazaki's Kiki's Delivery Service. I wanted to be her, and so I asked my aunt, who lived next door to us, what she wanted, and she wanted like chocolate oatmeal cookies, I think. And so I was making them and stuff, which leads me to my next fact. I actually got my hair stuck in an electric mixer. I was just you know, making my cookies and my hair got stuck and it was pulling and it was super scary and it was ripping hair out, and Michelle actually saved me. She saved my life. I probably could have gone bald if no one was there supervising me. Another fact about me is that I love to travel. I have been to like 8 countries I think so far, and I want to just continue. I love traveling. I love planes. I love airports. I love layovers. I love layovers when you can just explore the airport and you can just look at all like the different things that they have in gift shops and candy stores. I just want to see the world so bad. I have so many things on my bucket list regarding travel. I just can't wait for my future when I can just... So I know that before I said I love animated children's movies, but there's one animated children's movie that I just can't stand. Actually, there's 2. This is just one of them. I hate Madagascar. I hate it. I think it's so bad. Words can't express how much I hate Madagascar. And a really big thing about why I hate Madagascar is that there's this scene where this little duck is just swimming peacefully on this pond and an alligator comes up and he eats the duckling. Who thought that that would be okay to put in a children's movie? I know that I was scarred. Anyone else? Anyone? One movie that I really did love was Happy Feet, and I wanted to be Happy Feet apparently because I thought it was a tap dancer, but I would just do this with my feet. But then I would do this one thing where I would go to my side like this, and then I go with my butt out, and I would just scoot back on my feet, and it was really annoying. And I would do it in hardware stores, like out in public. I was like. We even had a Happy Feet party. We called it the Lovelace party, where everyone had to wear like black and white, and we made food and lanterns, and we watched the movie, and then we danced all together. My favorite party that I ever attended. The only party I ever attended. Another thing is that I was super overdeveloped as a preteen. I mean, I think that I was a C cup in the 5th grade. People are always talking about how, oh, I am so small compared to everybody else. That is like not even a big deal. I was this giant child. I was an inch shorter than I am now in the 5th grade. That gives you an idea. I'm 5'5". I was 5'4" in the 5th grade, and I grew an inch in middle school, and that was it. I felt so awkward. I had these like tree trunk thighs compared to everybody else, and then I would just like wear like 2 sports bras, being like, it's cool, I'm one of you guys, I swear. But no, everyone was always like, oh, are you 16? But I wasn't. I was just a 10-year-old. This is something that I kind of want to do in my future. I really want to move to California one day. I don't know, I just feel like I'm just drawn to it. It's warm, and there's a beach, and there are people there that seem to have a lot in common with me. So yeah. Another one of my obsessions is lipstick. Now, you see this pouch? It seems like a regular type pouch, but this is actually my lipstick pouch. I just carry all of these around with me, and I put one on, and yeah. Another thing that I absolutely love is Jane Austen. If you guys don't know who Jane Austen is, I just feel bad for you. She is the woman who wrote Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park Persuasion, Northanger Abbey, Emma, all of those. Pride and Prejudice, the 2004 version with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden, is one of my favorite movies of all time. I've watched it at least like 2 or 3 times a year since I was 9. So that's quite a few. I love roller coasters and big rides. I love the rush of being scared on roller coasters. I love it. I just love, good times. Another thing that I love are chick flicks. I know there's some people who are just like, oh, chick flicks are a joke. Well, you're a joke, because I think they're fantastic. Some of my favorites include 13 Going on 30, Pride and Prejudice, Love Actually, About Time. They're just so good. Another fact about me is that I'm actually super duper family oriented. My family includes some of my favorite people, and I just love them so much. I don't know what I would do without my family. I love going to the movies. Going to the movies remains one of my favorite things to do, as like, oh, what are we gonna do today? How about we go to the movies? I'm just so upset that they keep raising these ticket prices. Be like, oh, you wanna go to a 2D family feature at a matinee? Well, guess what? $26. Speaking of movies, I also talk during movies. It's kind of a bad habit. Not really, it's fun. I like it. I get that in a movie theater you should be quiet, and you know, you should keep quiet because it's polite, and you should like keep those urges inside. But when I am not in a movie theater and I'm just at home with my friends watching movies, I will talk. I don't like those people that are just like, I'm not like them. I also love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday by far. I think it's magical and perfect and snowy and perfect. I just think it's great. I love receiving presents. I love giving presents. I just love it. I think it's such a special time of the year, and I have such special memories connected to Christmas growing up. So yes, I think it's perfect. My favorite TV shows are Friends, Sex and the City, Awkward, and Downton Abbey. Throw period drama into the mix. My favorite thing in the world to do is to laugh. I absolutely love to laugh, and I like people who can make me laugh, and I just appreciate a sense of humor in a person so much. It's definitely one of my favorite traits that a person can ever have. So, to this day, one of the biggest things that I struggle with in life is trying to figure out how to be myself in front of people. I'm totally confident in what I look like and how I present myself to the world, but when it comes to my personality, since I'm still trying to figure it out, it is something that I worry about more. So, I know I talked about obsessions before, but there's one particular obsession that I especially wanted to address, which is Harry Potter. I think the first movie came out in 2001, which means that I was 4 when I first saw it, and I would watch it every single day. I was in love with Rupert Grint. I would line up all my stuffed animal babies and make them watch their father, apparently. That was the thing I would do. We would make life-size paper dolls of the actors and carry them around. We would go on our swing set with brooms and pretend to be flying on the... That is a really weird motion. I have a really low tolerance for the cold. Another thing that I love is reality TV. And I hate that I always get judged for loving reality TV. I love The Bachelor. I love The Bachelorette. I love Cake Boss. I love The Kardashians, okay? I think they're hilarious. And don't you dare tell me that The Bachelor and The Bachelorette do not create true love, because you are wrong, my friend. We also have the wedding special, okay? A tradition that me and my sister and my cousins have is that whenever we go to our grandparents' house, we make houses for what we thought were the midgets. We grew up with this idea because our parents told us that there were these little midgets that lived in the woods, and they were like these little tiny like gnome people, like this big, and they would need homes. And so we would build them homes out of pine and tree branches and moss, and we would decorate them, and in the morning there would be candy, because apparently like in gratitude the midgets would leave you candy. I would love a future in movie or TV production. I think that would be the most perfect job for me. The top knot is probably one of my favorite hairstyles of all time. I figured out how to do it last year, and I think it was one of my favorite moments of all time. I can literally do 2 hairstyles. I can either do this one or the straight. I can't even braid my own hair. So when I have those waves, have you ever seen me in those waves? If I have those waves, that means that my mother braided my hair the night before, because I literally don't have any of those skills. I don't know how girls do that thing. I just can do this. I'm a one-trick pony, some would say. And my last fact is that I love making YouTube videos. I just want to take this time to thank you guys so much for all of you that subscribe. The fact that we have 2,300 people subscribe to this channel is crazy, and I think about this time last year, and I remember being such a lost and sad person, and I really think that YouTube has helped me come into my own. Anyway, thank you so much. I love you guys. I love every single one of you, and when you guys comment and when you thumbs up this video, it just gives me so much hope for my possible career in this YouTube thing. It's really crazy. So thank you so much. We're on the right track, and it just feels really good. So thank you so much. If you like this video, I know that it was probably really long because I love to talk. Please give it a big thumbs up. It would be awesome. If you can relate to any one of these facts, please let me know down below in the comment section. I want to bond. Let's bond. All social media links are down below. You can follow me on Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter. I think it's crazy that I have 2,300 of you guys on here, but yet I still have 150 followers on Instagram. You guys don't like my Easter brunch? I don't understand. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe.